Today, we are going to explore Titanic Museum Belfast. It is located in 1 Olympic Way, Belfast, UK. When you enter, you can see the details for the buildings. They have 2 floors of car parking and 4 floors of Titanic and Olympic experience. Take an escalator and reach the 1st floor where the Titanic experience begins. Inside, you can find an elevator lift which takes you to 5th floor. So let's go and check. Here you will reach the area with a long queue of people standing. You can skip the area and walk around, but I recommend not to skip the queue, because you gonna do a ride through all the inside work on Titanic and can see the way workers on Titanic saw it. You will be seated on buggy with different language. Here you can have English, German, Spanish, Chinese, and Dutch-speaking buggies. Here we start our journey, so let's sit tight and see what it's like. It's 2.5 minutes ride. I will play it in 7x speed for your convenience. Here you can see the launch details of the Titanic. This is the first ticket sold for the Titanic. This belongs to Miss Charlotte Brennan. You can see many more details here. This is place where Titanic was built. Yes, this very place in front of your eye. This is where the unsinkable was created. This is Lord Pirrie's pocket watch. This desk is a floor plan of the entire Titanic, heaven for an architecture students. This entire museum is in study material for engineering students. Here you can see a model created of Titanic and it is glass protected. This is an exact model of how Titanic looked. There is no empty place in this entire museum. You can see all the details of every equipment in the hall. Really, it is an engineering marvelous. You can study more and still you will be amazed with this. From engine, propeller, boilers, you can find every single equipment details and picture here. This is how a first-class cabin in Titanic look like. You can see a lady and a service person visualized in here. This is the booklet of the Titanic in 1911. You can find here well protected. Next you will reach place where a cabin where this video is shown. I recommend you to never miss this. This is a visual detailing for launched Titanic from engine room to the exterior. This is really amazing 3D visualization. I wonder how much James Cameron worked on the Titanic film, because he had succeeded in showing even minimum detailing of the real Titanic in movie. I am playing this portion in 5x speed. Next you will reach a hallway where you can find all the details of materials and equipment used in the interior of the Titanic for its beauty and luxury. You can find details from public restrooms in the Titanic to the furnitures used in Titanic. This is how a second-class cabin in Titanic looks like. In this kind of second-class cabin, the band musicians used to stay. This is a third-class cabin in Titanic. I wonder how 2 beds fit in there. Small but still less home crisis that now, I guess. This is the map of replicating the maiden voyage of the Titanic. Here you can see the travel plan of Titanic. After launch, Titanic traveled to Southampton. There she started her maiden voyage on Wednesday, the 10th of April 1912. From there calling at Cherbourg in France, and then Queenstown in Southern Ireland, and next heading out across the Atlantic. Biggest tragedy in known history, she never able to reach New York. This is the letter written by John Edward Simpson on the day of maiden voyage of Titanic. This is how a first-class deck looks like. Next, you are going to enter the heartbreaking scenes and situation from the Titanic. This is the first signal message received from Titanic on the day of tragedy regarding ice warning. This is the all-station urgent message sent by Titanic, requesting to inform captain of the receiving ship and come immediate. Here you can see the last message from the Titanic and to the Titanic. Reading itself, we can understand the helpless situation on the night. Next, you will see the newspaper details and words of the survivors from that night quoted here. The struggle they faced on that horrific night and what they have experienced. Next, you will see an object which was low in count that night but still saved hundreds of lives. The life jacket used in the day of tragedy. Still one protected to remind us of humanity, jealous, selfish, all the nature of human. Here you can see all the names of people we lost and saved that night. We have lost double the people saved. We have every name of people saved and every name of people lost. In this room you will go through all the worst conditions after a tragedy. More heartbreaking than the tragedy itself. Children searching their parents, partners searching for their loved ones. All the paper clipping and handwritten letters to their lost parents or child. World news about the tragedy. How world reacted on this. Everything you can see in here. Next, you will reach a place where it indicates some of the reasons why Titanic may have been faced this tragedy. Includes adverse weather conditions, unheard warnings, missing binoculars, high speed despite ice warning, low bulkheads of the ship, lack of lifeboats, lack of emergency drills, unheard distress call. This is the final investigation concluding the reason of the tragedy projected here. The reason stated is collision with iceberg with excessive speed. Here you can get an idea how deep in the Atlantic Ocean that the ship of dreams peacefully resting at. Next, you will reach the area where discovery of Titanic starts. This is the sonar technology used to find out the Titanic beneath the ocean. In these small screens, you can see the development of the project in finding out the Titanic started in August 24, 1985. Many people before Robert Ballard tried to discover Titanic for years and not succeed. The legend Robert discovered Titanic in 12th day of his expedition. This is the reaction of the Robert Ballard when he first discovered the Titanic. They were shouting its boiler. Here you can see a mini Titanic model hanging around the building and rotating with all the lights on. This room is having a beautiful ambience. It's like a light magic for Titanic. You will definitely like this area. You can have a feeling like watching wrecked Titanic from above when you stand over this glass. This is the violin used by Wallace Hartley during the maiden voyage of Titanic. Titanic movie lovers know how that music made us feel. In here you can find many valuable things like the silver hip flask, pocket watch, trophies, chairs. Recovered from wrecked Titanic, you can walk around and see all that. It was crowded, so I'm not able to shoot every recovered materials. This is the last session in this museum. Here are postcards, posters, Titanic movie details available to explore. Only thing I missed was that car in which Jack and Rose played cards. Sorry, it was just a fun for recovery before I close my video. Here are some of the pictures I took on the tour. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like my videos.